It's good, YouTube. Quinn Wade coming to another season preview. What to expect from the Minnesota Timberwolves coming off another Western Conference Finals appearance. In a below 50 win regular season, they ended up with 49 wins and 33 losses. We seen Anthony Edwards take his 3-point shooting game to another level, opened up another way for him to play and get his points, and he loved it. He embraced it and had a fantastic year shooting the basketball. We knew that he had the ability to create shots. We just had to see if he can be efficient at doing it when he got drafted. And this is the Anthony Edwards that we seen. Now he's more polished. Now he's more smarter. And now he's more confident. And now he's knocking down those shots. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of us had Anthony Edwards going number one in that draft, just because what we're seeing now. The thing about Anthony Edwards is he still has the ability to get better, not just offensively, but defensively too. And one thing we were surprised about was how well Julius Randle ended up playing in the playoffs. Not only that, he wasn't that big of a drop off from Karl Anthony Towns for this particular team. And you can say the same thing about Karl Anthony Towns because they got to the conference finals in the East and he helped and was a big part of what they did. But so was Julius Randle being able to take advantage of mismatches and use his force, use his body, and be able to hit shots from the perimeter from time to time and be able to isolate from time to time and get buckets on his own. And sometimes you can kick the ball out to him. He can splash a three or put the ball on the floor and make a quick decision or just score the basketball in general or get to the free throw line. So I liked a lot of the things that I seen for Julius Randle. I liked a lot of the things that I seen from Anthony Edwards. I think that we're going to see more this year. They're going to look at it like there's no way we shouldn't be one of the best teams in the Western Conference again. I know that their roster went through some changes this offseason like everybody else's. They lost Nikhil Alexander Walker, which was a big part of what their bench was about. But when you look at the roster, is mostly of the players that contributed the most is still on this roster, and they just got some young players like Rob Dillingham and obviously Terrence Shannon Jr. that they're going to expect more from. They're going to give them bigger roles. They're going to give them bigger opportunities to be able to shine and show what they can do. And that should give guys rest. They should give guys a break. And that should allow them to be the guys that they possibly was drafted for. They seen something in these guys. And I like what I have seen when they do play. So it makes a lot of sense for them to possibly give them more playing time and give them more chances to be difference makers on this team. You do have guys like Bones Highland. We have to see what he can bring to the table and if he stays on the roster. You can say the same thing about Enrique Freeman. We don't really know what to get from him. Is he even going to play? Isn't he even going to be on the court? And if he does, would it be impactful chances to be a difference maker for them off the bench? Jalen Clark, they saying he might get a bigger role. Also, he might need to, but will it be a role that he can, really show that he should be a rotation player even in the future? Some of these guys is what I'm saying is just not going to be able to play unless injuries happen. If injuries happen, they might get 5 to 15 minutes. Then it's about showing what you got in those opportune times, and then it's just about continuing to build your confidence in your game and trying to crack that rotation each and every season to the best of your ability, even if it's not for the Timberwolves. Joan, he's 18 years old. He's a center, has a lot of potential, has a lot of upside. We just don't know what he's going to really do for them. I doubt he plays at all, really. He's just too young and it just can't help impact winning right now in his career. We do expect to see more from Dante DiVincenzo. He's a guy that can create his own shot, but also can play out the ball and knock down threes and handle the ball and make plays. He's going to be a big part of what they do. I can see him being their seventh or eighth guy, easily getting double figures next season because of the absence of Nick Hale. Plus, he did it last year anyway. We're going to see if he's going to be a chuck or is he going to be more efficient, and is he going to bring it? He's one of the guys they're going to rely on and really need to have a great season for this team to really have a better, or if not a little bit of the same season last year. and you don't want to go backwards. You want to continue to move forward. And this team was able to be stuck a little bit, and it looks like their roster is going to have them about where they was last year. Mike Conley is getting older. He shows some age and burst. He shows some age in scoring. He showed that he still can shoot if you leave him open. He can still make quick decisions if he has the right guy on him, or they're helping out on somebody and he just have to attack. He can make shots, he can make plays, and I just feel like his role just needs to be reduced a little bit more. But his impact is still going to be there as a leader and as a guy that you can trust in fourth quarters to make the right decisions, even if it's not scoring the basketball. And that's something he basically has done his entire career. So I'm not really surprised that he still can do it now. It's just he's doing it at a worse level as he should be at 37 years old. He's only 6 feet with 175 pounds on his body. So it makes sense why he's going to have some trouble trying to score the basketball in the modern NBA. Not only that, Rudy Gobert is getting older, 33 years old. We know that he's going to be a rim protector. We know he's going to try to grab as many rebounds as he can. He looks like he's going to have a role where he's going to be depended on to score a little bit more with this particular roster. He's going to have to be able to get open. He's going to have to be able to finish. He's going to be able to rebound and go straight up and finish around the rim. He's going to have to be able to catch that ball and not fumble it and lose it or try to do too much. And his role just needs to be catch and go. And if he can just set screens and get these guys open and give them some space and give them the first steps that they might need to be able to get to the basket or get to their mid-range, especially Anthony Edwards, then he served his purpose. I know you're paying a lot of money for him to do simplistic things and minimalistic things, but he's just that good in that role. And that's why he has been an all-star before, all-NBA player before, because he understands what he can't do and he focuses more on what he can do. And I just need him to do the simple, just catch and dunk. Catch and go straight up. Catch and make a pass. Catch and finish around the rim if you get an offensive rebound. Don't try to do anything other than that. And that will help this team flow and go a whole lot better offensively. And we know that he's one of the best defenders. He's going to force you to shoot over the top. He's going to force you to take perimeter shots. He's going to be tough to score on in the paint. And that's what he still can do. He's not 38, 39. He's only 33. So he should still be a good impact player at that age. He might not be all NBA first team defensive, but he might still be second team. And that's basically what you're paying him for this year. Jaden McDaniels, I do expect him to be a guy that should show some improvement. He wants a bigger role. He wants to be more focal point of this team. He showed that he can handle the ball a little bit. He can hit a three. He can make quick moves sometimes to be able to get open or get his teammates open. That needs to continue to be expanded upon this year because this team don't really have that much way to go when it comes to offense. They have a lot of guys that's really dependent on guys creating shots for them. And he's one of them so far, but he does need to take his ball handling and his isolation scoring to another level. I'm not saying that he will, but eventually he's going to have to because this team doesn't really have another way of getting better besides of growth from their younger players like I said, Rob Dillingham and Terrence Shannon. If those guys are improving and those guys are ready to take a leap, then that's why this team is going to win about the same or more. If not, this team is going to be a 6th, 7th, or 8th seed or even in the play-in tournament. And that's something they definitely want to avoid, even though they're still a younger roster compared to other teams. It's something that they definitely shouldn't want to have to play more games just to prove that they're one of the best teams in the West. They should already be looked at as one of the best teams in the West and shouldn't be trying to be looked at no other way. But I will also say Leonard Miller and Tristan Newton, they're going to be guys that's going to try to come in and score, add some physicalness to the game and what this team brings offensively. And that should be a fun thing to watch from them. You also got Naz Reid. Unfortunately, his sister got killed. But, that's going to take his mind off basketball for a while. But once he gets back focused, he's going to be a big part of what they do again. The rebounding, the shot blocking, the three-point shooting, the ability to put the ball on the floor, get all the way to the rim and finish or hit shots or even get to the free throw line. Those are things that's very, very valuable, especially at the power forward / center position. And Naz Reid can check all those boxes still. His 3-point shooting is definitely going to be needed, especially because of Gobert not being able to shoot at all and not really having no outside shots. He's going to have to be able to play more minutes and contribute more, but that's what they paid him for because they felt like he can fit that role and he can do these things, which he has shown in multiple seasons that he can. He's just going to have to be able to do more, and he wants to. Most people want to have a bigger role and a bigger opportunity, and I think Nas Reed is going to be happy with that. And then Rocco, I don't think he plays that much. He's another big guy, not really fundamentally sound enough, not really having the IQ at this point because he's going to be young and he's not going to have that much experience. And giving him playing time is just not going to be there with Gobert, Nas Reed, and guys like that already ahead of him. And, the spot of the center, but he can be good for them 2 to 3 years from now. So we still have to see if he pans out for them in the future. But I don't really see him doing much now. But this is a fun roster, very athletic, very bouncy. They also really, really believe in themselves. And if they're really going to win 50 games again, Anthony Edwards going to have to be him. Not saying that he ain't, but he is going to have to be that guy that's hard to stop, unstoppable, one of the best closers in the game. He's going to have to be one of the best shot creators and playmakers in the game. This team, to me, needs him to be a superstar each and every night and nothing less than that. And I feel like it was some games, and even in the playoffs, where Anthony Edwards, can you step it up just a little bit more? Can you be more aggressive? Can you really carry a team to a to to higher heights? That's what he's going to eventually have to be because when I'm looking at this roster and I'm looking at some of these guys' ages, either they're really really young or they're getting to a point where this is what they are, this is what they're going to be. That means they have a cap and they have an upside that's limited. Do I look at the Wolves as a contender in the Western Conference? I think just because they made it to the conference finals, that's always misconstrued. Are they better than Houston? Are they better than Denver? Are they better than OKC? And et cetera, et cetera. That's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see these next 2 to 3 years since they did pay Nas Reed and they did play Julius Randle, and we don't know what's going to happen to Rudy Gobert. Will they get rid of him? Will they go in a different direction with him? Will they let him play out his contract? Those are questions that we have to see play out because we know for sure he did help the team make it to the conference final. He's a big reason why because of his defense and his rebounding and his fact that he can wall people off with help of his teammates and communication. And he did what he was supposed to do, which helped this team be improved. They started to want to save money. They started to not prioritize winning as much as an organization, and they took a step back. Now, this team is, if they make the playoffs, would I be surprised? No, I expect them to. That's one thing I would say. I expect them to be a 45 to close to 50 win team again. I expect them to be sixth, seventh, or eighth. I know people gonna say, "Man, that's crazy," but that's about where they were last year because honestly, they just don't have enough, to win consistently without Anthony Edwards having big games or showing out, or same with Julius Randle. If Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards ain't going for 25 plus, they're going to have a hard time winning and closing out games. It's just easy as that. And if this team gets to the conference finals, I would be surprised if they did that again this year. But, it's only because I feel like certain teams in the Western Conference got significantly better where I feel like the Wolves haven't. Now, the hidden genius of it all is maybe their young players just come out and play better than what we think, and they show what they can do more consistently than we think that they can. But that's just something that we have to watch and we have to see. You have to prove that first before we give you credit because we haven't been seeing it and we haven't seen enough of it. So that's fair criticism, and that's just giving you a caution. We're not saying they suck. We're not saying they can't step up. We're not saying that they won't be good. We just have to see them do it at the NBA level, and we have to see them being really great in their roles and being the players that the Timberwolves thought and hope they can be. They got to show it first. Once they show it, then we say, well, the Wolves got this, that, and that. We can really see them still being a threat in the Western Conference. But as of now, for what I done seen on this paper, for what I done seen with this roster, they're going to be good. Will they be great? Will they be championship caliber? I would say no. But will they be one of the teams that's fun to watch and fun to enjoy them compete against guys and be playing David versus Goliath? A lot of the times, yes. But I also think that Anthony Edwards should be significantly better. He said nobody's gonna work harder than him this offseason. And if he does that and it comes to fruition like he says, and he doesn't have too many injuries, which it doesn't really seem like he does, based off his first couple years in the NBA, then he's gonna have to be Superman a whole lot of nights for this team to beat the best in the West and some of the best in the East and some of the good teams and some of the bad teams and some of the terrible teams. The NBA is getting to a point where there's no nights off. These teams are becoming that talented. It was the whole purpose of the CBA to put talent here, to put talent there. Pay this person, don't pay that person. Then he goes here, then he goes there. And then you get teams like Minnesota, like, well, this is the best we can get. This is the best that we have. We're just competing with what we got. And I'm looking at it like that's one of the reasons why I don't have you within the top four of the Western Conference. Some teams are paying for it. Some teams are going all in. Some teams really want it. And the Timberwolves, they kind of playing hot potato. We want to be in, we don't. We want to be in, we don't. We kind of want to make a move, we kind of don't. And if you're that indecisive, it's just tough for us to believe that you can win at the highest level when we know how much talent and how much things it takes for you to be able to win a championship. Now, that's just my analysis on it. They're going to be good. They're going to be a playoff team. I just don't expect them to get back to the conference finals this year unless guys just take another leap at a high level that we just didn't see coming, and that be their biggest differences of why they should be more respected coming into this year. We already like them. We already think they're good, but I'm not going to go so far to say they're a championship team this year. And even when they got to the conference finals, I didn't think they was better than Denver last year, and I didn't think they was better than OKC. I think they would have lost to either one of those teams going into the conference finals or before. They just was able to avoid them. It's part of the game. It's part of the playoffs. They still had to beat some tough teams to get to the conference finals, so we do have to give them their credit, and we do have to give them their flowers for that. But I just don't see the same thing happening this year. Maybe the second round, maybe they get a tough first round opponent and they get put out, or maybe they get one that's favorable to them and they beat them. I just don't see them getting back to the conference final this particular season. Maybe 2, 3 years from now. I just don't see it happening this year. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, I do conversation videos just like this about various NBA only topics. I also do breakdowns of real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock draft and draft coverage too. Plus, I got over 3,000 videos already on my channel that you can watch and you can enjoy right now, and it's all for free. Not only that, I also upload videos each and every day. So you love basketball content, you can't get enough of. You love watching it, you love enjoying it, and you want to find a way to get entertained. This is the channel you've been sleeping on. This is the channel you've been missing out on. And I'm telling you, that's why you should be subscribing, supporting it for that very reason. Other than that, I'm gone for now. Thank y'all for appreciating the content that I put out. Thank y'all for continuing to make time for me. Thank y'all for continuing to come back. Thank y'all for continuing to respect my opinion and wanting to hear more of it. And thank y'all also for supporting me in the past, the present, and in the future, hopefully too. And all I can say is thank you for that. Other than that, I'm gone for now. Y'all stay blessed up. Peace. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all, man. Hopefully tomorrow.